The Arctic Research Station hummed with an electric tension that Dr. Evelyn Reese had never experienced before. Frost-covered windows framed a landscape of endless white, a stark contrast to the cutting-edge technology surrounding her quantum detection array. Her fingers danced across holographic displays, tracing intricate patterns of energy signatures that defied conventional scientific understanding. Something was different today. The quantum sensors were picking up a signal that seemed to pulse with an intelligence far beyond random background radiation. "Dr. Reese," called out Dr. Victor Lindholm, her senior research assistant. "The readings are unprecedented." Evelyn adjusted her high-tech glasses, the augmented reality interface flickering with complex mathematical equations and spectral analysis. The signal wasn't just unusual, it was mathematically perfect. Too perfect to be natural, yet too complex to be human-made. Victor ran a full-spectrum analysis. "Cross-reference with every known quantum communication protocol we have," she commanded, her voice steady despite the mounting excitement. The research facility, nestled deep within the Arctic Circle, was part of a global initiative to explore quantum communication technologies. They had been searching for potential extraterrestrial signals for years, but this was different. This felt like a deliberate transmission. Hours passed. The signal continued its mesmerizing pattern, a mathematical symphony that seemed to whisper secrets of the universe. Each pulse was precisely timed, each frequency modulation calculated with a precision that suggested an intelligence far beyond human comprehension. "It's not random," Evelyn muttered to herself, her mind racing through potential explanations. "This is a message. But from where?" The quantum array, a massive circular structure surrounded by superconducting magnets and quantum entanglement generators, continued to pulse with the mysterious signal. Outside, the Arctic winds howled, as if nature itself was trying to communicate something profound. Victor's voice interrupted her thoughts. "Dr. Reese, I've isolated a recurring pattern. It's almost like a coordinate system, but not one we've ever seen before." Evelyn leaned closer to the display. The coordinates weren't just spatial. They seemed to incorporate temporal and dimensional variables that suggested a method of communication far beyond three-dimensional space. "We need to inform the International Space Research Consortium," she said, her voice a mix of scientific excitement and cautious professionalism. This could be the most significant discovery in human history. Little did Dr. Evelyn Reese know that the quantum whisper was more than just a signal. It was an invitation, a challenge, a first step towards a cosmic encounter that would challenge everything humanity understood about their place in the universe. As night fell over the Arctic Research Station, the quantum signal continued its mesmerizing dance, waiting to be understood. The International Space Station's command center buzzed with an unusual level of anticipation. Marcus Donovan stood before a holographic display, his weathered hands clasped behind his back, steel-gray eyes analyzing the cryptic data transmitted from the Arctic Research Facility. "This isn't a typical first contact scenario," he muttered to Dr. Helena Rodriguez, the mission's lead astrophysicist. Marcus had spent years in military space operations before transitioning to scientific exploration, and something about this quantum signal triggered his instinctive caution. Dr. Rodriguez adjusted her display, multiple screens flickering with complex mathematical translations of the alien signal. "The quantum coordinates suggest a communication method that transcends our current understanding of spacetime," she explained, her fingers tracing holographic lines that seemed to bend and twist impossibly. The signal discovered by Dr. Evelyn Reese had triggered a global response. Top research institutions worldwide were collaborating, pooling resources to decode what appeared to be a deliberate, intelligent transmission from beyond known space. "Prepare the Horizon Explorer," Marcus commanded. The experimental deep space research vessel was humanity's most advanced exploration craft, equipped with quantum communication arrays and experimental propulsion systems that pushed the boundaries of current technological capabilities. As preparation began, Marcus reflected on the journey that brought him here. Once a decorated military space pilot, He had witnessed humanity's potential for both destruction and incredible discovery. This mission felt different. It carried the weight of potential first contact. The Horizon Explorer was unlike any previous spacecraft. Its hull incorporated metamaterials that could adapt to extreme cosmic conditions, with quantum entanglement drives that could theoretically navigate dimensional interfaces. Marcus had been instrumental in its design, drawing from both his military engineering background and his passion for space exploration. "Launch preparations complete," announced the mission control director. "Quantum navigation systems are calibrated to the Arctic signals frequency." Helena Rodriguez approached Marcus, her holographic pad displaying intricate analysis. "The signal suggests a communication method that's more like a complex invitation than a traditional message. It's as if someone, or something, is deliberately trying to guide us." The spacecraft's launch was smooth, a testament to years of technological advancement. As they broke through Earth's atmosphere, Marcus couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The quantum signal seemed to pulse in synchronization with their movement, guiding rather than simply communicating. "Quantum navigation is tracking the signal source," reported the ship's AI system. "Destination appears to be a region of space approximately 37.5 light-years from our current position." Hours turned into days. The Horizon Explorer moved with unprecedented speed, its quantum drives manipulating space-time in ways that would have seemed like science fiction mere decades ago. Marcus monitored the ship's systems, his military training keeping him alert to any potential anomalies. Suddenly, the quantum signal changed. What had been a steady mathematical pulse now transformed into a complex, almost musical pattern. The ship's sensors went into overdrive, detecting energy signatures that defied current scientific understanding. "We're being contacted," Helena whispered, her voice a mix of excitement and apprehension. Marcus watched as the holographic displays began to resolve into something unprecedented, a communication that was more than just a message. It was an approach, an invitation, a challenge to humanity's understanding of communication itself. The Horizon Explorer continued its journey, carrying with it the hopes, fears, and unbridled curiosity of an entire species standing on the precipice of a potentially world-changing discovery. Aria Novak's fingers danced across the communication console, her eyes intense with concentration. As the lead sinelinguist on the mission, she was humanity's best hope for understanding the increasingly complex signals emanating from the unknown civilization. The Nexus research vessel hung in the vast darkness of space, its experimental communication array pulsing with energy. Weeks of careful analysis had revealed that the signal was more than just a message. It was a living, adaptive form of communication that seemed to evolve with each interaction. "The linguistic patterns are unlike anything we've ever encountered," Aria explained to her team. "It's not just a language. It's a dynamic system of communication that changes based on our responses." The ship's chief communications officer, Derek Kaminsky, leaned in closer. "Can you translate anything?" Aria pulled up a holographic display showing intricate, shifting symbols. "Not translate in the traditional sense. It's more like, we're engaged in a complex dialogue where the very method of communication is part of the message." Unexpected vibrations began to resonate through the ship's hull. The quantum sensors Marcus Donovan had helped design started to light up with unprecedented readings. Something was approaching, or perhaps already present. A soft, almost imperceptible hum filled the communication chamber. The holographic displays began to shift, transforming from mathematical symbols to what appeared to be intricate, living diagrams. They were no longer receiving a message. They were participating in a conversation that transcended traditional communication. "It's adapting to our cognitive patterns," Aria muttered, her linguistic training pushed to its absolute limits. "The signal is learning how we think, how we process information." Suddenly, the ship's primary display erupted with a burst of complex imagery. It wasn't just visual information. It was a multidimensional representation of something profound. Fragments of what seemed to be star maps, molecular structures, and something that looked like the blueprint of an entire civilization flickered in and out of existence. Derek watched in awe. "Are we making contact?" Before Arya could respond, a wave of information crashed through the ship's systems. It wasn't an invasion, it was an invitation. A challenge. A test of humanity's potential. The communication wasn't about language anymore. It was about understanding. A fundamental evaluation of human capability, curiosity, and potential. "They're not just trying to communicate," Arya realized, her voice barely a whisper. "They're trying to understand us." The ship's quantum drives began to resonate with the incoming signal. Navigation systems responded to a guidance system that seemed to exist both everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. They were no longer just receiving a message. They were being drawn toward something. A final burst of information crystallized into a single profound concept. It wasn't a word or an image, but a challenge, a test of humanity's capacity for growth, understanding, and cosmic potential. As the Nexus research vessel continued its journey, Arya Novik knew they were on the brink of something extraordinary. This was more than first contact. This was a pivotal moment that would define humanity's place in the universe. The convergence point approached with an intensity that defied conventional understanding. Dr. Evelyn Reese, Marcus Donovan, and Arya Novik found themselves united aboard the Nexus research vessel, facing a moment that would reshape humanity's understanding of existence itself. The space around them began to warp, not through any mechanical process, but as if reality itself was breathing, shifting, recalibrating. Quantum entanglement sensors went wild, recording phenomena that would challenge decades of scientific thought. "It's a test," Marcus said quietly, his military precision cutting through the overwhelming sensory experience. "Everything we've encountered, the Arctic signal, our journey, this approach, it's all been an evaluation." Arya nodded, her linguistic expertise now seeming almost primitive against the cosmic communication unfolding before them. "Not just a test of our technology, but of our potential as a species." The ship's systems began to respond to something beyond their programming. Holographic displays showed multiple realities simultaneously, potential futures, alternative paths of human development, converging and diverging in a complex dance of possibility. Dr. Reese worked frantically at her console. "We're not just receiving information. We're being asked to make a choice that will determine humanity's future." A crystalline projection materialized in the center of the ship's bridge, a representation that was part star map, part living organism, part mathematical equation. It pulsed with an intelligence that was both alien and strangely familiar. The message was clear, yet beyond words. Humanity stood at a crossroads. The civilization that had sent the signal was offering more than first contact. They were offering a gateway, a chance to transcend current limitations, to join a cosmic community of intelligent species. But the choice came with a profound challenge. Acceptance meant transformation. Not destruction, but a fundamental reimagining of human potential. "We can refuse," Marcus suggested, his hand hovering near the emergency shutdown protocol. Arya shook her head. "No, refusal isn't an option. This is an opportunity that comes once in the existence of a species." The projection began to show humanity's potential futures, scenes of environmental restoration, technological breakthrough, interstellar exploration, but also warnings of potential paths of destruction and limitation. Dr. Reese understood first. It's not just showing us possibilities. It's asking us to choose our path. The ship's systems began to integrate with the alien communication. Not an invasion, but a symbiotic connection that challenged everything humanity understood about technology, communication, and existence. In that moment, humanity's representatives faced the most significant decision in the species' history: accept the invitation and transform, or retreat into the known and familiar. Marcus looked at Arya, then at Dr. Reese. No words were needed. Their collective decision would echo through generations. The projection pulsed, waiting. Humanity's response would change everything. As the quantum field stabilized, a single choice crystallized, not of conquest or submission, but of potential, of growth, of becoming something more than they had ever imagined. The universe held its breath.